In 1920, a kid woke up before sunrise, not to scroll, not to post, but to work to help his family survive. In 2025, a kid wakes up to notifications, chasing likes instead of purpose. One carried buckets of water. The other carries emotional baggage from a world that never stops talking. Both are growing up, but in different worlds. So here's the question. What happened between those years? What changed the kid who built life into the kid who watches it? In 1920, childhood wasn't soft. A boy of 12 might already be working the fields, fixing fences, or helping his father repair the roof. A girl his age could be milking cows, sewing clothes, or caring for her younger siblings. Life demanded effort, not for grades, not for validation, but for survival. They learned early that life doesn't hand you anything. You earn every meal, every coin, every breath of comfort. There were no smartphones to escape into, no screens to numb the mind. Entertainment was the sound of rain hitting the barn roof, or a game played in the dirt after chores were done. The world was quieter, but it was also louder in meaning. Kids looked up to their parents, not because they were cool, but because they worked until their hands bled. There was pride in being responsible. There was honor in doing what needed to be done without complaint. A boy learned to shake a man's hand firmly. A girl learned strength in silence, in perseverance. They didn't have much, but they had discipline, respect, and resilience. In 1920, the word hardship wasn't an excuse, it was a teacher. It built character out of necessity. Every small success felt earned. Every failure was a lesson, and every day was another chance to grow tougher. That kid didn't dream of going viral. He dreamed of surviving winter. He didn't post his achievements, he lived them. And though his world was rough, it built something the modern world is slowly losing: grit. Now look at the kid in 2025. He wakes up in a room filled with technology, a world of comfort that generations before him couldn't even imagine. His breakfast is ready-made, his entertainment endless, his world one tap away. But with all that ease, something's missing. Something invisible but heavy. The fire, the hunger, the why. This kid lives in a digital battlefield. Likes, followers, trends, they've replaced effort, discipline, and patience. He's told that success should be instant, that happiness should come easily, that struggle means failure. So he scrolls, he watches, he compares, and the more he does, the emptier he feels. He's got knowledge at his fingertips, but no wisdom in his heart. He can message the world, but struggles to talk to himself. He knows what's trending, but not what he stands for. Everything around him screams consume, compare, conform. But almost nothing tells him to build. The 2025 kid is overstimulated, but underdeveloped. He's connected to everyone, but detached from reality. He has comfort, but no resilience. He's grown up in a world where convenience killed curiosity, where challenge is optional, and excuses are celebrated. He doesn't know the taste of earned success, because everything's delivered instantly. He's never felt the quiet pride of hard work, because validation comes from a screen, not the soul. And deep down, he knows it. He feels it. That haunting question, why do I feel lost in a world that gives me everything? See, the truth is, the 1920 kid and the 2025 kid aren't that different. The fire inside them is the same, but one was forced to use it, and the other was taught to hide it. The 1920 kid's world demanded toughness. The 2025 kid's world demands comfort. And that's where the real battle begins, not between generations, but within ourselves. The kid from 1920 had no safety net, no excuses. He learned that pain was part of progress, that if something broke, you fixed it. If life hit you hard, you stood back up. Meanwhile, the 2025 kid is told that failure is dangerous, that struggle is trauma, that success should come without suffering. But here's the truth. No one ever became strong by avoiding hard things. Growth has always been forged in the fire of discomfort. It's not the world that makes you weak. It's how you choose to face it. The 1920 kid didn't have options. He had responsibility. The 2025 kid has infinite options, but no direction. He's trapped in comfort, and comfort kills potential faster than pain ever will. Yet deep down, there's still something ancient inside him. That same grit, that same hunger to prove himself. It's waiting to wake up, because when you strip away the screens, the noise and the distractions, you'll find the same soul that once built cities from dust. The same determination that carried generations through war, famine and fear. Imagine if the 2025 kid started living like the 1920 kid. Not in lifestyle, but in mindset. What if he stopped waiting for motivation and started building discipline? What if he stopped complaining about how hard things are and started being grateful that he even has the chance to try? The kid from 1920 didn't have self-help books or life hacks. He had a reason. His family depended on him. His future depended on him. Every day was proof that responsibility builds character faster than comfort ever will. And maybe that's exactly what the 2025 kid needs. Not another distraction, but a mission. Something real, something that forces him to grow, to fight, to earn what he wants instead of expecting it, because strength isn't built in peace, it's built in resistance. You can't develop grit scrolling through comfort. You build it when you push through the pain, when you keep going after failure, when you choose to show up even when nobody's watching. The 1920 kid didn't have much, but he was much. And the 2025 kid has everything, yet feels like nothing. That's the trade we've made, but it doesn't have to stay that way. The new generation can bring back that spirit, that unstoppable drive, that unshakable pride in doing things the hard way. Because no matter the century, the truth remains the same. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. If the 2025 kid learns to embrace struggle, to live with purpose, to stand tall when life gets hard, he'll become unstoppable. He'll carry both worlds within him, the strength of the past and the possibility of the future. So here's the message. It's not about 1920 versus 2025. It's about what kind of person you choose to be. Every generation faces a different kind of war. Theirs was survival. Ours is distraction. They fought to stay alive. We fight to stay awake. The world today doesn't need more comfort. It needs more courage. It needs young people who can look past the noise, shut off the screen and face themselves. Because the hardest battle isn't out there. It's in here. In your mind, you can still be that kid with grit in his heart and purpose in his eyes. You can bring back the discipline that builds men and women of strength. You can make the modern world your battlefield, not to escape it, but to rise above it. You don't need to live in 1920 to think like them. You just need to remember what made them powerful: hard work, humility, respect, and resilience. The things that never go out of style. Because one day, years from now, someone will look back at you and they'll ask the same question. What kind of kid were they? Will they say you were weak, distracted, lost in the comfort of your time? Or will they say you were different? The one who stood up, fought back, and brought meaning into a meaningless age. That choice is yours. Be the kid who earns what he wants. Be the kid who still believes in hard work. Be the kid who carries the fire from 1920 into 2025 and beyond. Because that fire is how legends are born.